All right, we are back with another PrizePicks video. Going to be talking NFL football in this one. Obviously, a bunch of games, so a bunch of value on the board, and ultimately going to bring you guys 6 plays today, and walking through the analysis and why I like each pick for each one, like I always do. But if you're new to this channel, definitely go ahead and subscribe. Leave a like on the video so more people can see it, and comment down below if you like one of these picks, don't like one of these picks, or if you're going with something else and want to let people know about that. Do that down below. These are our video picks from yesterday's video, or I guess today's video earlier today. It was an NBA video. Ended up going Jordan Poole DNP'd. D'Angelo Russell ended up pushing for us, even though he had a full quarter to get 1 assist there. And then DeJounte Murray only played 26 minutes in a blowout win against Washington. Maybe some of that reason to be is Jordan Poole wasn't in that game, even though he hasn't been great anyway. But ended up going, 3 for 3 in our Philly OKC game. I was definitely liking those picks, so that stack kind of worked out for us. So I ended up going 3 for 4 and went to a flex play on that. So profited there. And we're going to try to do this and better if we can. So let's jump over to the board and kind of see what we're doing. We got some plays in the 1 o'clock slot. We got some plays in the 4 o'clock slot. So, if you miss that 1 o'clock spot, you can at least take advantage of those 4 o'clock plays. But let's go into the board. I'll do chronologically like I always do. These ones are always just based on value. I'm not giving you the flashy plays, the watchable plays. I'm not going, oh, take this guy, this passing touchdown, whatever it is. I'm just taking the best value on the board and taking advantage of anything on PrizePicks that they're giving us where we're getting better odds elsewhere. So going into it, let's go to Gardner Minshew. Going to his 2.5 rush attempts. Again, not the flashiest line, but really, really liking this under here. Let's go over to Outlier. Any of these tools I use, I'm going to be using Outlier. I'm using the Fantasy Optimizer on OddsJam, and then I'll be looking at RotoWire a little bit just to kind of see the indications, maybe some fantasy scores and things like that. But all of them have free trials, so definitely hit those links in the description for a free trial, and it will let them know that I sent you guys, which helps me out. So let's jump over to Gardner Minshew and get to his rush attempts line. So we got him at under 2.5 rush attempts. Obviously a weird line to go to, but he's been consistently going under this. 8 of 10 games so far this year, only gone over in 2 of the games. And also going up against a team that doesn't allow a whole bunch of rush attempts anyway. Tampa Bay is allowing 24.1 rush attempts. 2 quarterbacks, I brought that up as well. And they're about the same spot here. Looks like they're about right in the same spot, only allowing 3.8 rush attempts to quarterbacks. So with Minshew not rushing the ball a whole lot to begin with, definitely a solid matchup to stay under here. So plus money on the over, always love to see that. And just trying to take advantage of any value that PrizePicks is giving us with those fixed odds, taking advantage of the 5 and 6 play flexes. So let's go to his OddsJam page here, kind of see what they're saying about him and other sports books. Gardner Minshew, we'll go ahead and apply that. And we do see that that is the best line right there for him. It's actually a green bet, so love to see this. This tool is so powerful, guys. It's integrated with PrizePicks or Underdog or any of these other apps that you want to use. And you can seamlessly go to them, go to their tab here, and you'll be able to see green or whatever plays. And you could just honestly just take those, and mathematically you'll be winning in the long run. And it's telling you that, okay, so they got him at 2.5. Let's see what other sportsbooks have to say about that line. If we're taking advantage of the 5 and 6 man flex plays on PrizePicks, we're getting individual plays at minus 119 odds, and other sportsbooks have this at way less odds. So they really like it. Minus 135 to go under on DraftKings, minus 142 on Caesars here, minus 155, minus 150 on Hot Streak. So you can see the value we're getting on PrizePicks here, and with the Outlier and being able to see what he's been doing so far this year, his matchup and everything looks really good. So definitely going to ride with this under to start us off. Staying in the 1 o'clock slot, we're going to go to Rodney Thomas II. We're going to his tackles assist line, going under this one as well. Let's jump over to Outlier, kind of visually see what he's been doing so far this year. Maybe look at his matchup a little bit as well. Going to Rodney Thomas. Staying in the same game for this one, actually, same team. Under his tackles assist prop, we're going under. Again, plus money on the over. Got to take advantage of that. He's gone under in 7 to 10 games. So, again, looking really good. In terms of tackles and assist lines, looks like they're, once you even these out, they're about middle of the road. Tackles against is 39.9. Assists against is 25.5. So definitely not the worst matchup case, and really liking the 70% under here. Let's go to Odds Jam and see what other sportsbooks are saying about him and kind of talk about it a little bit. Rodney Thomas. Go ahead and apply that. So he is showing up, and they're liking that as well. 53.47% chance to hit. We can see all these other sportsbooks: DraftKings, Caesars, ESPN Bet, Fliff, all over minus 130 odds. We're getting it at minus 119 on PrizePicks. With these other data points, we're getting it at Outlier and being able to see that. Really, really liking this under to stay here. So little Indiana Colts stack there for us to start us off. Next up, we're going to go to the Bengals kicker here, Evan McPherson. Going to his kicking points at 5.5, just looked low, and he's been hitting this line pretty consistently all year. Now, in terms of the matchup, we'll go ahead and look at that. But let's pull up his outlier page to kind of see that visually. McPherson. Going to his kicking points over. We saw a bunch of green there. 2023 gone over in 7 to 10, so a little bit of a theme here. 70% hit rate, obviously as many as 13 kicking points. 25 in terms of as a matchup, 25th rank, 66 kicking points allowed to the Steelers team for the season. So they're giving up a whole lot of kicking points. There should be a decent amount of spot for him to get kicking points too. If there is no, let's go to the injuries. There is no Joe Burrow, so we'll be having the I don't even know who their backup QB is, but whoever that is, we'll be having him in there. Maybe not as efficient in the red zone, so having to settle for some field goals would be great for this line as well. Minus 127 odds to go over, plus 100 odds to go under, so definitely taking advantage for some value there. Let's go over to his outlier page and kind of see, or not his outlier page, his odds jam page to see what other sportsbooks are saying about this line. Pull up McPherson here, go to apply. And we do see that also, very much favoring this line, minus 130, minus 127. Pinnacle, one of the sharpest sportsbooks out there, have this all the way at minus 132. And again, we're getting this at minus 119 odds on PrizePicks when you're doing a 5 and 6 man flex play. So really, really liking this. They're liking it at a 52.47% chance to hit. But yeah, really, really liking that with all these different data points. So that will be our third pick. We're going over that one. Next up, going to the 4 o'clock games now. Got 2 Cleveland players to talk about. First one, I'm going to go to Kareem Hunt. This is at 9.5 rush attempts, so really, really liking this one. A lot of different sportsbooks have this at 10.5, so would not be surprised at all if this gets bumped at all. But let's go to Kareem Hunt and kind of see what he's been doing. Over 9.5 rush attempts. We do see in 2023 he's gone over this in 6 to 8 games, including 6 straight. Also going up against Denver, that allows the 26th rank in terms of rush attempts allowed. Love to see that. Should be a bunch of rushing attempts to be had. 29.2 rush attempts per game. Now I want to go over to RotoWire here and kind of just see what they say about his game script here. And we go to Kareem Hunt, and we do see that he had an even split with Jerome Ford last week. So they really are even, pretty much split in the backfield in terms of usage. So, and actually they're saying that Hunt was a little bit more productive as well. Ford might be favored to go into like third downs or maybe the end zone line. So, wouldn't be maybe touching his fantasy score prop. They see to have it at 8.76 in terms of fantasy score projection. But I think he could get definitely a decent amount of time. If this transitions to the next game, maybe he gets even a little bit more run as he was more productive in yards per carry basis. So liking Kareem Hunt here and going over to the Fantasy Optimizer on Odds Jam, we do see that a lot of sportsbooks have this line at 10.5. So again, just taking advantage of the arbitrage there in terms of different sportsbooks saying different things. And looks like PrizePicks is a little bit behind the ball here. Rush attempts over is a 53.88% chance to hit, so this is almost a quote-unquote orange bet is where it would be. And a lot of sportsbooks, again, FanDuel's got this at 10.5 and still a minus 108 to go over. Caesars and DraftKings have this at minus 135. We got Jock MKT, don't even know what that is, but 10 right there. So again, different sportsbooks are saying different things. We can actually go to the sportsbook screen here. Don't show this one off too much, but super crazy powerful tool when you're betting on not just player props but anything. And it can show you all the inequalities or the differences between sports books. So let's say you wanted to bet on the Saints money line here, you'd be able to go, okay, I want to go to Profit Exchange, because you should be taking advantage of getting all those promotions on each and every one of your sports books that you have access to. And you can say, okay, you got a minus 120 odds on Profit Exchange, even though some of these other places have it at minus 135. So super valuable tool right here. But do want to show you his line over here just to kind of see that there's a ton of sports books with it at 10.5. So let's go to Kareem Hunt, or actually we got to look up the prop first. So let's go to rush attempts, if I can find it. Rushing attempts, maybe. Yeah, player rushing attempts. We'll just go into the game, so that's not searching everything. Let's find Cleveland here. Cleveland versus Denver. And we do seem to see Kareem Hunt, and we're seeing a lot of 10.5, 10.5, 10.5, 10.5, 10.5, 10.5, 10.5. So a lot of these websites have this at 10.5 already. So really liking taking advantage of the PrizePicks line at 9.5. We do see that if they're at 9.5, the overs very heavily favored to go over. So really cool tool here too. Again, free trial in the video link or in the video description. Definitely check these out. So let's go back to the Fantasy Optimizer, lock in Kareem Hunt over, and then staying in the same game here. Another one I'm really liking is Amari Cooper, 3.5 receptions, going over that one as well. And let's kind of see what he's been doing so far this year. Amari Cooper, Cleveland, 3.5 receptions. Again, 70% of his games, 7 to 10, he's gone over this, all the way up to 7 receptions. And then in terms of Denver's defense, 21st ranked in terms of receptions allowed at 23 receptions per game. To wide receivers, though, they are way better. Just wanted to point this out if you're maybe thinking, hey, I don't think he's going to be going up against a tough defense here. That is a little bit true, but they do give up a ton of receptions in general, and I think he could punish them again over in 7 to 10. Definitely really liking this play. And also in terms of game script, they are underdogs by 1.5. So if this is a close one down the stretch, he could be seeing a little bit more play there as well. So minus 122 on the over here, shown on Outlier. But let's go into his page and see what he is looking like on other sports books. Amari Cooper. Go ahead and apply that. And we do see his line, best line of the day on PrizePicks right now is 3.5 receptions over, 53.35% chance to hit. Sportsbooks are loving this. FanDuel's got it minus 122, but Pinnacle's all the way up at minus 141. Again, known as the sharpest sportsbook, already has this at minus 141. So very heavily favored. Flip's got this at minus 150, minus 143 on Hot Streak. So again, really favoring this over, and I think he could punish them a little bit today. Or tomorrow, I guess. So Amari Cooper will be our second Cleveland player of the video. And then let's round this out with our 6th pick, going to Trey McBride. And we're going to his 51.5 receiving yards. Again, taking advantage of PrizePicks having this line low right now. And let's go see what we're thinking about him on Outlier here. McBride, Arizona. And we're going to see, as right here, as you can see, 55.5 receiving yards. Is popping up on Outlier. That's because other sportsbooks are favoring this line to go over this, and they actually have the line set a few yards above that 51.5. So he has only gone over this in 3 of 11 games on the year. But in terms of his matchup, really good matchup in terms of going up against tight ends in this Rams team. So 24th ranked, 56.8 yards to be had against tight ends typically on an average basis. So McBride definitely could be seeing a few more targets as he's kind of been trending in the right direction. These first 3 games not really doing much of anything, but 14 targets back in week whatever this was, 4 weeks ago, and that's been pretty consistently. He's been heavily targeted a little bit more in the back half of this season. So really liking him in the spot. Really great matchup for tight ends, and liking this at 51.5 on PrizePicks. Let's see what other sportsbooks are saying, where they're setting their lines and things like that. Go to McBride. Go ahead and apply it. Actually, we'll get rid of Amari Cooper real quick. Go ahead and get McBride. Apply that. And we do see they're loving this 53.6% chance to hit. Again, we're getting it at 51.5. But all these other sports books, including Pinnacle, have this up at 55.5. Pretty consistently all 55.5. Jock MKT, again, has this at 56. And not only do they just have it at 55.5, they're still favoring that over. Minus 129 on Pinnacle at that 55.5 mark. So really liking this. I could see this getting bumped And if it does, I think it's still a solid play, just not loving it as much at this fit, or if it does get bumped. But really, really like it for the value at 51.5 on PrizePicks right now. So that will be the 6 picks. Did want to mention a few if these lines do end up moving. Another Cleveland player going into Njoku. We'll open up his outlier page as well. I love the 39.5 receiving yards here for an over. Let's go open up his outlier page and kind of show you. Again, just giving you some extra plays if these lines get moved, just because there's a ton of value on the board now. You do see that this is at 42.5. Positive EV on the over here. Looks like DVig odds got this at minus 139. Again, over 42.5. And then really, really good matchup in terms of Denver. 29th ranked in terms of overall receiving yards allowed, but 32nd ranked, literally dead last, or I guess first, if you want to call it that, in terms of receiving yards allowed to two tight ends, specifically 72.2 yards to tight ends per game. So Njoku could have a field day against these guys. He's been over in 6 of 10 games as well, so really, really liking Njoku there. And again, mix and match these. You don't have to just do the video picks. I'm giving you these extra plays to kind of mix and match them, and especially if some of these guys get bumped. So Njoku over his 39.5, really, really getting good value there. And then Joe Mixon will be our second one. 2.5 receptions seems too low. Just can't put him in right now. But 2.5 receptions for Joe Mixon is the play. Kind of a backup play here. Joe Mixon for Cincinnati. Going to 2.5, gone over this in 7 to 10 games. That's like the theme of it. I should just name this video 7 to 10 because all these plays have gone over 70% of their time, which is crazy. Going up against a Pittsburgh Steelers team that allows 11th or 21.3 receptions allowed total per game. For running backs, it's about the same, 4.1 to running backs. But again, Mixon's been pretty consistently over this line, getting a reception at least in every single game. But typically in this 3 to 4 range, which is all we need to go over. Minus 130 odds to go over. But do want to show you what Outlaw Odds Jam is saying. I can pull up Njoku too as well, just to kind of show them both at the same time. But Njoku, remember we're getting him at 39.5 on PrizePicks. Crazy value, 53.45% chance to hit. A lot of these other sportsbooks, 42.5 on Pinnacle at minus 138. Just crazy, crazy value. I think he could be in for a really good game. And again, really good matchup against the Broncos. Next up, just wanted to show you Joe Mixon real quick. Go ahead and apply for Joe Mixon. And his line, again, 53.12 or 53.12% chance to go over this 2.5 line. That's his best line on the PrizePicks board right now. Minus 130, minus 135, minus 136. Other sportsbooks, again, this is the general rule of thumb. Take advantage of this minus 119 individual value you get on PrizePicks. And really, really liking this. History likes it as well. Tougher matchup, but we can live with that. We think Mixon can still go over that. So 6 video plays are right here as displayed. We'll go over them just to kind of put it in officially. And if you're trying to get these in, I like to zoom in and let you guys see it a little bit easier. But Gardner Minshew, under 2.5 rush attempts. Rodney Thomas II, under 3.5 tackles and assists. McPherson, over 5.5 kicking points. Kareem Hunt, over 9.5 rush attempts. Amari Cooper, over 3.5 receptions. And then Trey McBride, over 51.5 receiving yards. And then those additional 2 was going to be Joe Mixon, over 2.5 receptions. And then David Njoku, over 39.5 receiving yards. So that will do it for this one. Should be a ton of value to continue on the board. Again, if you want to try these apps, I very, very highly recommend them. And video links in the descriptions down below to get that free trial. It's 7 days. You get 7 days to try these out for free, and you'll fall in love with them real quick. Just to kind of show you the board and what they are able and capable of doing, you can go on PrizePicks and you can see, okay, there's 4 green plays that I can just take seamlessly right now. This NHL play, maybe you don't know much about the NHL, but they're showing you that Ryan O'Reilly's points is very heavily favored on these other sportsbooks seamlessly. Again, Pinnacle's got this at minus 142. The sharpest sportsbook out there has this at minus 142, and we're getting it at minus 119 value. So very easy to come here any time of the day. Go ahead and click refresh. They're always changing, and sometimes you're seeing these over 60% chance to hit. That's very rare, but you can take advantage of that value very quickly and easily. Again, if you're on Underdog or any of these other sports books, you can do the same thing. Click it right here. 3-man plays on Underdog are great. So when you go over here and you see 3, I literally sometimes throughout the day, every hour, every 30 minutes or whatever, go on here and I'd literally take this Counter-Strike, NFL, and Valorant play. Even though I don't know anything about Counter-Strike or Valorant, they're giving you a very good chance and great value on the board. So that will do it. Again, video links in the description down below. Or not video links. Free trial links in the description down below. But yeah, let's make some money tonight, guys. Hit me up in the comments if anything's move and you have questions. And yeah, that will do it. Peace out.